Well, everybody's here. We only got a couple people. There's a few more showing up. Um, let's see. Today, we're going to be going through changes, adjustments on paintings. Something we don't do very often. I don't hard do it all. I don't show you exactly how I get there at the end, but I give you all the steps. But these last few are always kind of like more you type things. Things you want in your painting, and sometimes uh, you guys can copy me as much as you want, but at this point, it's always going to be a little tough because details and little things like that are going to be a little hard to just see for you. I will try to give you all information uh, I'm thinking about and why I'm doing things. And if you guys have any questions, call them out. Uh, but when we get a painting to this stage, pretty good stage, it needs to go to another couple levels. Like right now, a lot of things I have not put in any highlights. I put in some grasses, but I haven't put in the rim lights and things like that. I wanted to show you how I do that. There's a lot of little things back in here that need to go in. And then there's the little teeny things at the end that just bring the sparkle to a painting, at least for mine. And maybe you guys, this will work for you, and you'll see that there's a few little things you could do that could finish a painting off. A lot of it has to do with edges too. Um, I always harp on hard edges, sharp edges, and stuff. That's it's just edges that are in the wrong spot that draw your eye when they should be leading your eye, but not holding your eye. Edges are like contrasts in paint. They just cause that edge, sharp edge, just draws your eye for some reason and tells you that the painter wanted you to see something in here at this point. And if it's not, it's kind of contradictory of what the rest of the painting's saying. If so, you try to take care of those. Soft fingers. A lot of times I'll be going in with my little finger and touching things up. Even when we do have some, we're going to be putting in some rim light and stuff like that. Sometimes it's not. Yeah, you're going to have a hard edge because I'm going to be putting in with a knife and things. But sometimes you got to be able to go in there and just smush it a little bit in the right spots, so it's not a too long of line that says, "Come here and look at me." Here, let me bring this in a little closer. What we're talking about on this thing today. I will try to get it as close as possible. Might be at an angle. That's about as close as I can do it because I can't even get in here. But as you can see, the dog here definitely needs some work. He looks like a jaguar, some things like that. So I'll probably be pushing some things on him to make him look a little more lab-like things. A lot of it has to do with just the shape of his head. Just might be just a little off, just a little too soft here and there, and those are little teeny things. Right in here, definitely there's some loss of value. It's just in the darks. I have the right value right here and here and here, but I don't have it back here by her. And that's the thing. We've got to get that dark enough back in here. So she just pops out just a little bit more. And it's all just small adjustments. We're talking a value change. We're talking one value darker. The dog here is fine. Looks good. Just highlights. Highlights on her, of course. The hat, I would take another look at. Well, just a couple value changes in there. It's not working pretty good, but there's a few little details to put in there, and maybe that hat will, become something better than it is. Again, rim light on top here. I saved that. I wanted to do it really bad, but it's one of those things I saved. And I did put in air going around the painting just in case this painting, we got I put it outside to not dry, so I had some time to work on it because I just work wet and wet with these canvases. I just like the way they accept paint at that point. When they dry, paint doesn't go on as natural, and I just doesn't bugs the hell out of me. I mean, I can get these beautiful little strokes in here. I love these things. They just need to be changed a little bit. So lots of little changes there. Let me pull up some things I did, and we'll show you, see if I can talk here a little bit. How are you guys doing?
Jim, could you talk a little bit about if you're done with the grasses down the bottom, what you've done yeah, all that white stuff. If you're done, and if you're not done, what are you going to do additionally?
I am like 3/4 of the way done. What I want to do now that'll be one of the last little things I do, because that's when I'll bring out the knife and putting in a little bit more gobs of paint. There's a couple gobs of paint here. And what I want to do is just put it in here, gob it on, and then just draw it out a little bit, with the knife, just little spots, and to get the little hairs going back here. That's what I want to work on. This paint is still very wet, so it worked, putting it outside in the cold thing. Value changes. Okay. The photos I took, for some reason, like the iPhone just, like I say, sucks when it comes to taking pictures of these things. Because it said this value here is way darker. Or way lighter. than it is. And I going, I swear I'm not that off. I'm off a little bit, but I'm not. I can't be that far off because it had it down like this is like a number 3 value, and it's like, but some colors just don't pick up very well in camera. Blues just happen to be one of them. And then they get contrasty. The lights go bright and the darks go dark. So the contrast looks better than it usually does in my paintings, paintings and stuff. So yeah, colors. Yeah, I'll definitely be throwing in some more things. See, I did lay these guys in kind of vertically right here. There's these ones here. Yeah, I started putting in a few of these more here that are kind of angular. They have a little more angle to them. And I want to put those coming back over here. And that will help glob it up a little bit in these one little spots. And then I'll be going back in with my knife at the edges of these things and just softening the edge just with my knife, just drawing down the white paint on these edges over here so it doesn't look too like I put them in with a brush. I want them to feel like I put them in singly. And that's what I'll be looking at. I didn't, but I want to do work on these guys just a hair more before I do that. It's just, because I don't want to have to mix too many paints. I did a few on this dog here. Boy, I'm just gonna wipe out a few of those because I was good ideas when I was painting, going, oh man, I can see a line here. I want to make that line, that tops the lines of these grasses here going against this dark, just like it's in the photo. And I do that, and my eye goes right there. And it could be, a lot of it could be because I know it's wrong. I can't get over looking at it. So just softening a couple of them. Usually that'll do the trick. It's not like a major repaint or anything like that. At this point, everything's pretty simple. It's not, we got the guts of the painting and they're really good. I like this painting a lot. But up here in these darks, now that's one of the things you really got to look at when you do these darks is don't overwork them. If you overwork them, they'll just become one dark. So it's a lot of letting things breathe a little bit. One of the last thing I got to do here on the back is bring in some purples for the branches of the bushes back here and things like that. And I want to put those in with my knife again. Now we talked about, that's why we did a palette painting, knife painting a couple weeks ago. I wanted to make sure you guys ready for this kind of stuff. I mean, you're not going to be too foreign for you to pick it up. Make sure you were using it because it's a great tool. This is a perfect time to come back in because a lot of times I have my wispy stuff in here, but sometimes it's just a little bit more gob of paint drawn out with the tip of your knife will make up all the background.
You want to put her out and back?
I'll take her.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. Okay. All right. Let me mute you guys here real quick. Okay. So if you have any questions, guys, ask anytime. I'm going to go through this a few other ways too before I do in here. Definitely, there's just a few darks that just got lost, just a little sharper things right around here because I don't want to get too much more on this guy. For some reason, I drew that dog way out here, and you guys did it right. A lot of you guys did it right and had that dog underneath here a little bit, and you had this felt like a shadow from the horse coming down across the guy. I go, wow, that's really cool, but can't do it for mine because he's back. You can see how far he's back there a little bit. I should have dropped him down. I mean, I could bring up the grasses up a little bit, but he's never going to be down low enough. just a design little thing. So a lot of times when I get to this point too, design wise, I'm just adding to it. I'm not trying to rediscover anything or um, go back in too hard. Uh, trying to work it. That's the thing, is just work it a little bit. Um, don't let this, you know, a composition problem, ruin a painting sometimes. I mean, we should have had composition things figured out before we got to this point. Um, but there's always little tricks, little things to do here that can make things move a little bit different too. And that's what we still have options. And that's the great thing about painting. I just love doing options, having options as I paint, uh, and knowing I have options. And that's why oils is such a great thing, because we have extra time. We can always repaint. And so, hey, let me see. Let me pull this up a little bit and see if there's anything else I want to share. I probably could have showed it a little bit better. Let me see here. Didn't come up. Let me see. No, not showing. Well, here it is again. What I also did, God, and that's why I wish I would have had this one saved. I don't have it saved for you. Um, I'll send you guys out a thing I call the digital check, where I do basically a tracing of the photo in Procreate or Photoshop, just a line work, and I lay it over my painting, and I, you know, look at what needs to go where. And that helped a lot on this painting to get everything moved around. And then there's things like, it's not going to make any difference. Like her chaps and things were just a little bit off here and there. Well, they were a lot off. She should have been moved a little closer to the horse, little things like that in the photo. But I had all this paint in. I loved a couple strokes. Sometimes I go stroke over design, because it's hard to redo that stroke if you love it. But then you don't want to fall in love with your strokes. So there's always that. So this is a photo of it. As you can tell, the photo really got a little more contrasty and probably a lot more correct than the painting is right now. But we don't even have the highlights in this one. Gives you the highlights. The hat, like I said, is going to be work. The dogs are good. This area here we're going to be working on, and that. So,
Jim, what in the end did you do to make the spots on the shirt? Is it just little touches of a lighter color?
yeah, it was the
See.
same color. And it was
Uh-huh.
just a little bit of white into it. Yeah, just a little bit, not. And then just a small square brush.
Right.
And I was trying to like kind of diamond this almost, and then and one of the things is, when I started with the paint, I look for the brightest spot uh, in that area for that first stroke, knowing that it's going to mix with the colors. And then you can see a few spots that are a little bit brighter up here, and areas where I could put a spot in early, and
Blue
then
in.
yeah, and then when by the time you got down in here, it starts to peter out, mix with the color so much. So you just look for those little things that save you some time.
Right.
And take your time putting them in. If you put them in simply and just stagger the rows, that's all it is. You got it. And don't try to be perfect with them. If you're perfect with them, it's deadly. And so take it easy. Let's let some be, rounds, and let some be just little goofy things. That's why, because I'm not painting folds in the shirt. I'm letting the spots themselves, do the work. So yeah, sometimes you do got it when you get into areas over here in elbows where you got folds of fabric. Yeah, you got to got to change the angle of your brush a little bit and tighten it up so it does look different. Same up here, so you don't have exact same things going on, same shape, because then it would flatten out a little bit. It still flattens out, and then also against the outsides stuff, make sure you don't have too many bright ones on the outsides, except for when we get here. Wait, but with this the highlight area, so I didn't dive into that too much. Okay, let me see. Like I said, horse things, the reins and the horse. Uh, definitely. I wanted to get everything painted behind there as much as possible. Because I don't want to. After you put those reins in, you're basically done with that area. You can't go back. You can go back into it, but you're causing yourself a ton of work. I'm a lazy artist. I don't like to do a lot of extra work when I don't have to. So getting everything behind that horse, the neck, the muscles, that kind of the highlights in right before I go ahead and do it. That'd be great. That's what you want to do. And another thing about doing the digital check, I found out my eyeball was like one eye too high. It usually happens. So I brought it back down and redid it a little bit. Everything else was really pretty correct drawing wise. I was pretty surprised. The dog's a little off, but I kind of like the angles I did, and it was just as good as what was in the photo. So it was like, okay, this is good enough. That's half the thing, is when you do get to a point of finishing this off, what's good enough and what's not. The hand's just barely enough to tell it's a hand. We're going to work on getting the light on the back one finger side of the hand here. I want to get this here, get the light on there, and just there's a light in between these two fingers. I started trying to put it in there, but it was just too much. I figured I could do it. I'd like to do it with you guys watching. So I decided, okay, it's wrong, but let's, right now it's wrong, but I can see it's going to go in right. So I said, like, okay, just leave that. Again, the reins being painted in here. Yeah, what I did on those reins is after I had it, like I said, you could try to get everything right before you do little lines going over your basic shapes. What I did there, I really had a brand new brush. I had a brand new Rosemary synthetic, really not a small one, but like a number 4 flat ivory. But the side of that brush, if you're bringing it sideways and stuff, it's just a beautiful cutter. It just cuts right through the paint, just pushes it right out of there. I mean, all the old paint puts that new paint down. Yeah, you got to do it in little sections. You can't run the whole thing. You can't. It's well, you have to do it in little sections. Break it up, because you need that. You got to know where that reign's going to end before you do it. So sometimes it's muscle memory, but you want to kind of run your arm through that mark and stuff a few times, and then do it. And you'll find out it really does work. Muscle memory works. So knowing that it's going to go here, so plan it out. That's the same thing with the other reins and around the face there. Making sure that sorry, that these guys here are, you want them. They were done pretty much the same thing. I only did this much, and then I did the top part coming down to meet. So I knew where these guys, kind of knew where about the area they had to be in, and how these two kind of overlap and then cross over. you know, you don't, sometimes you need tough little areas, and overlaps are really, you know, tough areas to do, to get a, you know, cleanly make it something like that, which without drawing too much attention to it, looks like it was effortless. Uh, those things are key to really finishing off this painting. Yeah, I don't, you know, sometimes you don't even have to do the whole mark. You can just fake it. You also have to put, after you put in the lights, you got to come back and put a shadow in. And you got to put that shadow in where it's touching the horse and where it's going to break off into air. And that's what happens here. This is why I have the dark coming down. So just halfway, not finishing it off too much. I haven't put in the connectors here to the mouth or anything like that. And I did put up this one up going around the ear. Still could, there's always little darks to find that would be nice in there, but sometimes, you know, they get overkill. So it's like at some point you're going to have to sit and study your painting a little bit and make sure that these little areas, what they need, aren't going to be distractions from the big picture over here. You want a little bit of stuff. Right now there's enough, you know, but because you got everything's working really well design wise, where everything goes. So it just needs a little more things in the front, like more grasses, and little things in the back, just or hairs of things in the back, hairs of things in the front, and then highlights around her. Highlights, like I was talking about, putting the hairs on that horse. This is good. That's going to also bring another dimension of brightness to this thing. That's going to make a lot of the little areas like on this horse go darker. But that being said, you know, I did pull out the lights here, so it probably isn't going to make that much difference. I mean, there's going to go a little bit brighter, but it's not going to go quite as intense as I, you know, usually would be going. So I will probably have to come back in and tone that area down just a value darker, but we'll get there. That's not a big deal. So working on the dogs a little bit, not too much on the back one, just mostly highlights. So that's where I'm going to be. Any questions? Okay.
Jim, I was wondering, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'm having problems again, so I'm sorry. I can hear you, and I'll follow along today.
You're going to follow along. You did a great job, Carrie.
Oh, thank you. Well, I enjoyed that so much. I did a second one.
Yeah.
And with the second one, I added, I did blues. I did blue and alizarin, and then blue and Venetian.
Ooh, how'd that come out?
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should be. They're right up your alley. You have a nice color sense.
Thank you. Well, I apologize. I'm not able to show, but I'll follow along, and I appreciate you.
Okay. I mean, your painting was fabulous in the students section there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's the thing is there are some really good ones, and a lot of people. Kim did a really nice one, and so did Shar and a few other people there who showed. Oh yeah, Lindsay. Sarah had a nice one too. Yeah, this final finishing is a lot of good things. You guys probably should, you know, could help. It's but like I said, I don't do it very often. Let's go back to the palette. And this one's, I probably won't be using too many more bristles in case, but if I do, they're not going to be my big ones. They're going to be more this size or this size. This is the one I used to do the shot spots on her shirt was this little one. It's just a number 2 bristle brush, square. it's kind of rounded off because it's been used so much for that kind of little stuff. There's not much to it. It's kind of like a stick, you know, and it just makes those little squares, and I just hold it at an angle and bring it straight down. Like you make a diamond. And that's kind of what I thought. Just simple. I don't want perfect things. But a lot of the work today will be finished up. Will be done with my my synthetics, and these are those rosemary synthetics. These are really good ones. They really come in handy for sharp edges. This is the one I was talking about doing the reins with. I just used that part of the brush right there. You know, being able to just to draw it from that line, pushes the paint out, the new old paint out, puts down the new paint, but it only goes for so long. Also, a little bit of oil helps too. So I'll be using basically that and a few other synthetics and that small bristle for a lot of the work today. And my knife. Where is my knife? My knife. Using my knife. Colors. We're gonna, you know, I had to wipe them off. I told you guys to take and put them in cups and things like that and save them. I didn't. Sorry. I didn't do that. I was bad. I was very bad. I was trying to, you know, talk about saving time here and getting that out of the way, but I'm going to just do a few colors. I don't really think I need too many. I think a few of the colors are going to be right for both. So like I was saying, just little areas now just to fix up. And I'll see if I can remember them by looking at the photo. Okay. A few things I need. I need to do some purples for the back that are alizarin and phthalo green based. So heavily on the alizarin side. I'm going to take that, save that over there. I don't need that much paint right now because I'm going to add, this has to go to a value of 8. But I'm going to save these because just in case I do have some darks. There are some nice darks in that some of the dogs I might, you know, need touch up. You guys know this. You guys know this, so I shouldn't. I'm just telling you. Hopefully, it's not overkill here. But this is going to go in the back. I don't know if I have the photo anymore. Yeah, that was a bad photo. I forgot to throw it out. Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Yeah, my inkjet went bad. Okay, this is just a little dark. Just a hair more. So I just basically take a swab of color, make sure I'll check my. So, okay, it's gonna jump on my painting. It doesn't. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna put just a touch more red into that. And let's see what this one has. Oh, should be on the bluer side, but it looks like it's on the purple side too. Okay, add just a little green to it. Way too much. Well, I'm going to keep that. I can use that green a little spots. All right. So that's what I'm thinking for the background. Oh, some of the bright yellows, yellow greens I need. So I'm going to take a piece of this one, definitely, and just put in a bunch of yellow into it. Because this is just what we're basing everything off of. Okay, this is really pretty close. It probably could go just a little bit brighter, more intense. I got all the colors I have on my painting already right now have white uh, in them from last week. So I won't be using white in these guys. I'll be using the white of the what's already in the paint on the canvas. So I'm going to be taking this yellow green, and I'm going to be I need a couple oranges into it. So I'm going to just add a touch of orange to it. Things I can put in with my knife. I don't need, it only has to go so far across the painting. That little swatch behind her. No, I'm just going to do yellow, orange, and I need kind of just a touch more red. I'm going to go oxide red light into it. Touch more, maybe a touch more yellow. And this yellow green, kind of just touch more yellow into it. I'm going to just put in just a hair of the red into it, just to knock it off base here a little bit. Give me, gosh, just a touch of orange. Just getting it up to the right key. So it's just right. That'll be enough pretty much to do everything I need on that area and get around. So I have these three colors to interchange going behind the horse and behind the rider. I do need a few other things. I might take these colors and gray them out. A little purple. Take a piece of these guys. Probably could have made it a lot bigger. A lot of times, just going to be little things I got to do. Looking at some of these grasses back behind there. Yeah, this is how I made them. Remember, I had summer yellow greens and stuff. So putting purples, using the opposite color in the color against the color wheel against things, just grays things out. I'm looking at some of the grasses behind the rider that could go just a little bit brighter. And right now, this is really close, but it could go like a half value higher. So just a little bit of white. So I'm thinking that it's a very neutral color. Yeah, very neutral. So we'll see how that works. And if I need to brighten that up or not. Also the grasses. I got the grasses that need to go pop way up high. So those guys, we just start off with just white. I'll do a few things. There's quite a few little things I got to do here yet. Now I'm looking at, but we'll start here. I'm going to take these colors here and just take pieces of them and bring them over here, especially the red, just a little bit of the red. That I knew that was going to beige out a little bit. That gets really, really close. This is like a mid-tone almost what I need. But for me, painting wise, I have to look at my painting now and not look quite as much at the photo. Use the photo for just reference of what goes where. But color wise, I have to make the adjustments to my painting, but I don't want to go to a 0 with this stuff when I need it to be only a 2. So that's one of the things I got to pay attention what's on my canvas too. But yeah, So I want to take a few of these colors, just get a few warmth. Sometimes a yellow, green, like that will turn out just like that. That is definitely a color I could use. Definitely around some of the horse and things like that. So really highlight colors we're going to be really pushing again today. Some of these could be on the top of her hair in her, just that little spot in her hair. Okay, just looking. Okay, let's do, I know that I need the horse's mane lights, and they are going to start off with, I like to start off with things. I don't like to start naked too much. So I'm going to take this grass color, which came from phthalo green and alizarin down here, and with added a lot of yellow to it, and then I added some orange to it. No, this is oxide, light oxide. Light oxide, I know I used a lot in that horse. So starting there is good. Definitely, again, I could probably put some cat orange into this color. I got to make a decent pile. I just don't want to steal too much of that. So I'm going to come back here and just take some. We could just start with light oxide red, lots of orange, cat orange. That's real close. That's going to be in there. And then taking, and just again, taking white first, some white here, and lightening up this color up a little bit. But what happens with when you add white to things, sometimes white is a cool color, and it's going to lighten up, but it's also going to cool it off. So you're still going to have to go to yellow and add it in there to heighten it up. But again, I don't want to use. I still need that light. Sometimes I need to cool, make my warms pop. So this I'm gonna leave. This needs just a touch of cad red, just a hair of cad red into it. There you go. That feels good. That feels good. I could use. Oh, could use that. Just a touch more white. I gotta lighten it up just a hair more to get it close to this. There we go. Just a warmer version of it. Just a slightly warmer version of it. So I looked at that in my painting. It works okay. While I have it here, that's pretty bright, dark. But I'm gonna take and make one light one. Just to have it. This might be, yeah, this definitely need that one. That's probably it, in fact. And that's gonna, now I'm thinking about her shirt. That was alizarin. So I'm gonna go a highlight of alizarin in white. So it's just a pink. These are like those little specialty little final colors I do on whenever I do dogs and things like that. Alizarin's good because it's a cool color and it will look like blue and white, you know, and pink. So it makes quite a few little colors. And it's a lot of times I'll lay them together, lights and warms together to get to get things to pop. But I do need a purple. I do need a purple. a light purple just for some grasses around her ankles and stuff like that. There's some of the grasses have a little bit of purple in them. So a lot of high key here things, little things to do at the end, along with a couple mid-tone things, little things I thought were going to be. So I just took these two colors, alizarin and blue, alizarin and phthalo and green, alizarin and phthalo green, just for my little high key things. This pink could go one step higher too. Usually I try not to, there we go. I want them to tie in with this. That's that purple, probably too dark. A lot of knife work, so I don't need huge piles. Yeah. This might be too small. Yeah. Let me add just some more paint to these guys. Be a little different than each other. I'm gonna gray that one out. So it's just a little cooler, and then that white, yellow, white. We will see. I mean, we will start here, up here. Oh, the horse color. Yes, the horse darkness. Let's do one of, that's why I was putting this phthalo green out here. Because I was thinking it was going to be oxide red here. And phthalo green. See how dark that gets? A little bit on the warm side. I'm just saying that color I made was a little bit on the warm side. So I'm gonna just add a little more red to it, even though that's warming it. Cost cool. Value is really close. I like that color, but I want to look at one more color. Would be blue in oxide. Let's see, it makes it just a little different. That one gets a little warm. This will be just a hair cooler because of the blue instead of green. But I'll see if which one works. Maybe I'll be able to use one in one spot, one in another spot. Sometimes lower in the painting or lower on the body, catches less light, so it could go cooler. Just really close. I'm going to go one more with just blue it out. I've been bringing in the blue really slowly here because the red's a little bit stronger, but I want one there. I'm going to do the same with the green then. This is why I make both. Because when you're concentrating up there, you don't want to come back here and do this. It's okay to do at the very end, but when you need a change in color value, warm or cool, you don't want to come back here and let your focus lose your eye focus, so you can't judge things as you were judging them. All of a sudden you're going to see it clearer, or not clearer, but you're going to see it differently than what you just did it. So there we go, just a slightly bit warmer. Don't want the green to show through, but that dark level. And I think I might have to lighten one piece of this one up. There's a hair of white into it. Piece of this one. One value, just one more value lighter. Okay, this is like always going to be warm. Oh, there you go. See, that's going to be a little cooler. Same value. Wow. I'm just looking at a little spot on the horse's leg. There's just right up there on this one muscle. I could go just a hair lighter for one of these guys. I'll probably stay in the warm section, but and then there's little spots on her leather uh, pants there that get a little grayer. I have them very warm, so just a scratch of that stuff over would be good. Little areas I can see, and probably even these colors are really good for leather. Highlights and a lot of these cool purples and things. Also, I'm just looking at the reins, a few spots. Maybe I'll take this up a little bit too, just in case I can do some spots in the reins. It's different than that a little bit, not by a lot. Okay, that might be too light, but if it isn't, I got the home value. If it is, I got the home value. So I got okay. So colors I'm just using just from because I know where I am in my painting. I mix up phthalo green and alizarin up here, and put enough white in. Probably brought them down to about an 8 value. This is like for little things in the back of the painting, some twigs and things like that. I just need to put them in with my knife, and I want to have the paint. When I put them in too, I put them in with the edge of my knife. I just roll paint on that edge so I can draw a line and then go back and smush it like this. That's what I'm going to be doing mostly up there. No, I have this color too. If I need to, I can use any of these colors here back there too, because it won't come too forward. But sometimes, if I'm using too much purple back there, at least I have an option. These are also horse colors, which will also be nice little things that come in. And then we got the highlight colors down here. Really took these two colors, I put the green one down here, put a bunch of yellow in it. And then I split it and added some orange to it. And then I used some lead oxide to it just for the grasses. I also got some oranges here. I could bring in some richer oranges, just tings of color. And there's going to be just little dots. I also have a couple grayed out from this one. I took it from here and just added purple to it. And just look at that beautiful gray. That's a warm gray, but it's not too much. It still has some light into it. This would be a nice color for maybe in between grasses. Light in the grasses. Then I took these yellows here and added a ton of white to them. This yellow green right here just had a little green to it, so I bumped it up and just added some more white to it, just to get it to more light cad yellowish colors. These are the oranges. These are started with what did I start with? I think with oxide red and cad orange. I think I started here and just pushed in some colors, but really it's just, and then I just went with just oxide red and cad orange. Added a bunch of some white to it. And then I tried again with just some more cad yellow added. and then just a dot of CAD red into it, got too dark, kept adding white. Then brought down here and made these light colors over here. These are pinks. These are just some little teeny pinks. These are rim lights colors. There's one more I would do too. Sorry. If that pink is going to stand out too much, sometimes it's just a temperature change. So if you do a CAD red and white at the same value, just that slight change of redness, warmth, won't stand out as much. So so sometimes this cool will jump out too much, so you do a warm, and that's just one of the things, having things ready. So those are my colors. I'll be putting in most of the stuff with my knife up and these little brushes and my little brushes. Also, at this point, definitely want clean oil. You don't want to be mixing your brushes in mud. Clean, especially when you need them this bright. Even that little bad drops of oil, dark oil, will make a difference. So when I use these guys, I'm gonna take it easy back there about how much I clean my brush out in the oil. All right. Let's get painting. Bring this over to the side here a little bit. I can bring this in. I think I can get in here. Problem is, like, once that goes off. All right. Like I said, back in here, there's a few little nice little twigs coming in here. Best, a lot of things too. When I put in, these guys really don't want to go too far. Yeah, we're gonna have a few that are gonna go all the way across, but we want steps in there. You want, especially going against it, change of pace and things. Just going down and making sure you have a lot of gnarly looking things. To do that, you really just need to change directions a lot. Going in one basic direction, but basically taking a long way to get there. And don't be afraid to come back here and just smush them up. You don't want too many you're gonna get a lot of the same size things really easy. So come back and just smush a few things. Have fun. That's the thing is. Okay, up here I'm gonna stay in more on the blue side of that color. Did I make any blue purples? I mean greenish purples. Did I do? Yes, I did. Let me see that. This is the green side. So stay up on a little bit on the green side over here. It really kind of adds a lot of space to a painting when I'm changing colors. Same value, kind of like going from the purple side over here to the green side, even bringing that in, little things, and just trying to add to this thing a little bit. And this is one of the things, it's always these are the things that just take the longest to do. My paint's still wet. The outside refrigerator worked. So I'm just a lot of purples right behind the horse. I was thinking it looked like, a little downward, upward type things. You need one of the things too. You got to come in here and you do need to touch that horse with this thing. You can't be the same, um, end up not touching this thing. You gotta go behind this horse sometimes. It's easy, but because if you don't, you're going to end up with a ghost line around it. I've seen that so many times. I just always point it out, but just in case you guys don't understand exactly what I'm talking about, it's just getting your lines and shapes in here to go behind things. So
Jim, what color are you actually using, or are you using any color and just maybe scraping away your wet paint? Because my paint is dry, so I have to do something.
okay, I am using phthalo green and alizarin.
Right, a purple.
The purple side, a little bit more on the green side back in this area. Blue here, phthalo green, and then blue, purple's behind him. Back
Okay.
here, this one was green, and I thought it was going to be purple, but little things, and then just a little teeny. See, I always try to tell you guys about saving the darks. Save these darks. These is where you come in and you only put scratches in. We try to save those guys as much as possible because they get taken up, and when you lose your darks, the structure of the painting gets a little wonky. It just loses its strength. So that's what I'm doing there, just adding a little bit more.
So they're at full strength. You haven't dropped them down.
I knocked them down. Mine are at 8.
8s. Okay.
7, right around 8, I would think. And I'm finding green. The green side doing a lot of coming in here a lot. Purple is just in this one little area behind the horse. Maybe it's just a different tree. Maybe the bush is just isn't catching the same light. But that's it. And I want it very subtle. But I want the viewer to know I paid attention to this area and put in things. Definitely, that's just a gob of paint. There's just enough there. Just could use some darks back over there. So that's why I made up the other colors. Bringing it back in. A little bit on the green side I want to go to. And I don't think I really mixed that up. Didn't really mix enough green into it. So. Well, all right. That's not bad. That's pretty good start on that. Coming down lower, some of these grasses, tips, you're just the tops of those grasses sometimes, or you get that little, the seeds and stuff to them. So get a few of those in with my knife. Okay. A few things over here. I still need that bristle brush to do some of these lighter gray, lighter grasses in here. And one of the things too, when you want to get that, if you pull down, you're going to get your stroke's going to be heavier up front on the top. And sometimes with these grasses, you want to release at the top. So you can either go, flip your brush, of course, or you get it really open up. You can push your brush, and that will open up all the tines on your brush a lot. Might have to go just a little lighter. And just go up. Twist that brush every time you do it. Just make sure you're not putting in too many of the same strokes. Same way. Like I hear this is like I said, sometimes you gotta touch the horse. You gotta touch the thing. You gotta get right there. So the whole thing is pulled together. Little spots. Right up to it, right touching. I said I wanted to do some couple changes on this dog a little bit. Sometimes the changes I can do them from the back here and just reshape the dog a little bit. Like I said, I just want to change his muzzle just by taking off the front edge of that muzzle, taking it, and it takes it from being a kind of a pound mutt to a more, some more just black lab. And I do think about those things when I'm, you know, trying to sell a painting too. Uh, a mutt isn't worth as much as a, black lab. So you do a black lab, more people might have a black lab who see this painting and can see that and say, yeah, that's could be my dog. It does help, does do it. You know, I just gotta get the light right. That helped a lot just by taking off that. Squared up his head a little bit, boxy. It made it a little more boxy. Just a little bit less on the back part of his neck connection to his back. There you go. Good enough. Okay. Then I'm just gonna hit it with highlights. Um, but as I go here, I got this light on my brush. I need a little cooler though too back. A little more on the purple side for a few spots back in here. So more on the alizarin and phthalo green side. So that same color I added into the that yellow green, I add the purple into it. And I'm just going to add just a little bit more purple now to it, so it is on the purple side. So back in here, I can mix that purple back with some of these yellow greens. And if I put this color closer to the bottom of some of these gatherings of grasses, you know, you're going to start getting some you know, depth. And it's subtle. It's not like a hit me over the head color. But it's a nice way to kind of, when you got gatherings like this that kind of like don't go anyplace, you need that kind of purple at the base, just down here at the midsection here, this cool area here, just to give you some depth. Just gonna clean my brush and grab some almost purple here. Just to feed it in a little bit, because sometimes these things just start to, you do put all these lights in here, and all of a sudden you kind of hold everything. You can't get through there visually, so you need to cut the little pathways almost to get through. All right, a little more purples here and there. Purples and greens go really well together. That's why this phthalo and you know, alizarin, it's a really such a great color, because these colors go, you know, are complementary colors and they work really well. So again, pushing against the grain here, I'm going to get onto her chaps here. And I have them kind of already I put them in with a little phthalo, more phthalo-ish. Now I want to come back and put them in with a little purple on top. And I'm just going to hold it down a little harder and push. A little less harder. Okay. And this get me into some of these shadows. All right. That's, you know, a little bit, yeah, a lot of paint there. Okay. I'm going to come back with a synthetic, and I'm going to paint in the darks back into here. This girl here, or not their girl, but the horse behind her and stuff. See which one it is. I was thinking it's going to go a little bit warmer. I'm going to try that. This is the phthalo green and light oxide mixes, full strength, full strength. And this is definitely on the red side. But I was thinking this is where a brand new one of these brushes, you can get in so tight. You know, this is where it's worth pulling out a new brush. Okay, so that's the warm, but I really kind of need just a little darker here. It's just, so I'm going to go on the blue side. So the alizarin and blue, but this is on the blue side. More blue than, oh, I said alizarin, I meant oxide, light oxide. Yeah, that's full strength going into it. Really separates that her her from the horse. Helps out there. Just that's almost more like a little saddle detail that's kind of coming down here too. So I'm going to do that, but I think it needs to go. Let me try on the red side here. Yeah. Okay. I can deal with that. So it's more oxide, light oxide and blue, at least for mine. Yours might go, could go warmer, could go on the green side. But at least back in here, I can put it in and get these things. So you can right in this crevice, that muscle. And then I come down its legs. Down here again, right down in here. That's why I didn't want to put the grasses totally in here yet. I needed to darken this up just a hair more around the ankles. Bring out those muscles. And again, this is just phthalo. For me, it's I said phthalo. It's cobalt blue hue with the oxide red mix. In fact, this is on the blue side. I say blue side, but the red's showing through because the red's so strong. That's what I was doing in here. That's really good. There, that helped out a lot. I could almost go darker in a couple little spots here, right on the where the muscles go. Just give me, there you go. Got a little shape. Over here again, crevices coming down. That's not bad. Just bringing it back into the horse here a little bit. Just right here, one connecting his neck's connecting to the body there. Little darks that I probably could have, could go darker. Nose isn't too bad. Chin's good. The eyes isn't too bad. Probably could use, if I use a smaller, now I'm going to go to smaller brushes, of course. And I always try to stay with the big brush, but I can. But sometimes right around the eye, there's just a little bit of dark in these, in their eye socket, around the eye socket, right underneath the eye. I've been playing with it, going without doing this dark enough. A lot of times I'm just going to drop in the tip of my brush straight down. Like that. And make the marks. And there's this little, or for like shadows. Just touch it in with the tip of your straight down tips. Touch of oil might help, just barely a touch of oil, not much. Just enough to hold it. And it goes in really strong. Might be good for like lines in the mouth. Being able to just drop it in. Beautiful sharp tip. There we go. There we go. All right. Basically, I just need to put in a few more. I don't think they don't want them. See what happens there. It just starts getting little cut up a little bit too much the same. They start getting a little dabby. Just a touch darkness in the ear, and we're set to go. I'm going to just give it a touch around the neck here, just to get that, just a little space here between the neck and the few spots. Thicks and thins. I'll look over here too. So that's just blue and oxide, blade oxide red mixes. Full strength. Also, when you do a lot of these little glints of buckles and things like that, yeah, I'm doing nothing more than taking away paint. I'm just going in here, going back to canvas and making these things. Like when I did do these little spots, you can take and really just remove them with this guy. I do it up here too. I did it around there. Of course, you guys seen that. Works real well for that. If you need a scratch, sometimes what you want. He's, putting in the air holes. Okay. Um, little teeny things left. Okay, I'm gonna put in clean my brush. That one bristle brush, that little teeny one I had. Number two. Sometimes a bristle brush, like won't go in as cleanly. It's gonna get a little messy and stuff. That's where one of these little guys kind of work out great, because you need a messy spot, like when I'm putting on bangs like this, and little some yellows, some greens, and some oranges here. I'm going to start off with the orange base tone, the real kind of mid-tone value, probably around a 7-ish. And that's just going to go on the very kind of, where I cleaned it out. It's just going to go on the front edge of that, just to get some color in here. I kind of just went over first. Didn't I? That's one of the things. Don't go, it's not too far. Oh well. I gave her a little bit too long an arm. So, but let's get this. This is just the orange, and it's just going to come in here. Just make some nice separations. And again, this nice little bristle brush. This level works out pretty good. I'm going to put it in behind the arm here too, a little bit. Okay. Well, that's the mid-tone of it. And I'm just going to lighten it up, basically go right to the yellow white. Not yellow white, the orange version of it. Where I added white to that color. And we can see. Yeah, see, just a touch of yellow into that. Touch more yellow to that color. Got to catch the light. That yellow light is just a touch more yellow. That's why I use a bristle brush, because I can come in here and push against it, and it's going to do just like I was doing down there against the grass. It's going to give me a little wild look, but I can control it a little bit. It gives me just that loose, ragged look, wind driven, you know. There's a little bit of light coming through. Okay. I'll have to come back in and figure out her hand again. It's all right. I think most of it's just the thumb. Thumb's catching a lot of light. It's just a little pinkish purple. You see. Just see, way too much. That does not look right. There you go. We got Fred Flintstone. There you go. Just too big a brush for this, for that. Okay. One last thing I want to do is take the highlights in that hair up one more time. More yellow, white. And this is where I was using the grass color with white, kind of yellow green. And just a few little touches. Okay, goes right into her shirt. Okay, so I'm going to keep that same color going into her shirt, this yellow orange. Yes, and then do my knife thing where I come in and just touch the edge here, just see if I can draw a line. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know, as I go now, I'm going to be using the yellow orange and stuff. Get these things. I got nice little marks, areas already cleaned out. And I just got to follow it. Sometimes this thing will just fall right into that groove I made of paint. And just, I can just re-put it in pretty easily. And then I can just get my little highlights going in around. I just need a little bit of coolness. We're back saddle here. Yeah. And sometimes, a lot of times, just, yeah, you're going to put things in the wrong spot. Only you and I know they might be in the wrong spot. And I won't tell if you don't. Well, that's not showing. I'm trying to get a little teeny dot here on the edge of that saddle thing. Just too slightly too dark. Phthalo green, alizarin, and just a touch more white. And what I need, just want to get Just be able to put a dot on the back edge of it. Say it's there. And then there's just some saddle things here. Great to just get a few little teeny colors back in here. Something. Blue look always kind of reads a little bit. Okay. I put that kind of colors over this horse a little bit. I was talking about doing the pants a little bit more with that, just dragging some of these oxide reds and blues and stuff over here. Just a couple kind of cool down in here, just to break it up. Maybe on the green side. Yeah. Kind of helps separate out the legs just a little bit. Have that cool there in the crevice. All right. That's not bad. That's about as I get. I might just bring out that paw. Top. Little things to do here on the dog. Just tighten up. Not much. Just like that one. Just a pretty simple. You leave it alone. All right. Always jumping around at this time. Just gonna take my knife, get all that paint, just give it a few kind of grasses or hairs, move it out. And in. And that's it. The mane's done. This is done. Now I'm just going to do her arm. Pinks. That's just alizarin and white. It's very pink. I find that if you don't show color, I mean, if you don't get it in there like that, it doesn't work. I'm going to be going, it looks, just by putting this in, I can say, oh, okay, yeah, definitely there's some warm reds in here too, but there are some pinks. And the pinks are on the areas that are arcing, like the shoulder here, catching a little more light. But the crevices, things that are coming to downstroke almost, goes a little warmer. So I'm going to add just a touch more red to this. This is cad red. And so it's about the same value as that pink I did. And just on the back downstrokes of shapes over the line, get that maybe in just a few little spots in the underarm here. Love putting in with a knife because sometimes they go where I don't expect them to. the globs. And it keeps it loose. Keeps me from getting too tight. So that worked out pretty good. Like that. Okay. I'll be doing the dogs too a little bit. So I'm gonna do that same thing coming down on this side. I'm gonna go a little more red on this side though. A little warmer red. So that one stands out because if I do them both, I can always lighten up a spot. I can always come back and lighten this up. I'm thinking this going vertical. It's gonna catch a different light a little differently. So that's why I want to make it a little warmer. So I'm saying with a cad red side here of it. Cad red and white. Just a little spots. So you can see why it takes so long because I'm always wiping. You get so far, you can only go so far. Get that color in there. I said I just wanted to get something in there, that area there. That was a mistake. That was not a big mistake. That was a mistake. But it looks like light. So at this point, I'm just going to leave it because I think it's right. Okay, a hat. Some of the things with that. Well, I'm going to keep going with the dog because I think this pink I can go with right here on this dog. I might go a little yellower on top of the head and the neck and the turn of it, but I think the back here.
Jim, I was thinking,
You were thinking.
yeah, so the horse mane versus the dog in front of it.
Yeah.
See that light blue on the black dog?
Right there.
Yeah, that could be in between the mane to bring in that color. Remember you follow a color so that the eyes roll.
Yeah.
Just was thinking.
Oh, put some of that in here.
Yeah, in the mane.
Yeah, well, I could. Yeah, you're right in these dark spots.
Yeah.
Definitely
So it will.
a couple scratches of purple or green in there would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Definitely, it won't take much because this color just is going to jump. Is it bugging you? Was that bugging you?
Well, it was just one color, so I was thinking like you might do it when we are not looking, so we wouldn't learn, right? So I had to call it out.
Okay. Well, thanks for calling. Well, definitely you could do it. You can throw it in there. Definitely throw a couple dots in there. Little places, right here. I would look at it on the leather on the. I think that's a halter or whatever bridle. Right here on the top edge. That's just again that phthalo green side of it. Maybe like you said up here, it might bring a little more life to the leathers. And I did have her thumb a little bit more of that color, but it was just a little bit more in the whites, a little bit not quite the same. and it was catching it. Good job. Good call. I was thinking about that around the hat. So it's like,
Yeah, I saw it on the hat, so it was rolling for sure. The top of the hat, you have that light blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's little things like that can really tighten these things up.
Yeah, that's what you get when you have a student for 12 years.
12 years. 12 years. What have you been doing? I haven't, how's things? You're still in near Detroit?
Yeah, yeah.
Your son must be out of college by now.
He's doing his master's.
Oh, good. Where
Yeah.
about?
He's he's going to Wayne State.
I know that school. Where is that? That
It's in Detroit.
is it? Okay, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good for him. What's he doing it in?
He's doing his master's in medical science.
Oh, one of those smart guys.
I don't know. Math would have been smarter.
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
Yeah. All right. Good for him, though.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing okay.
Yeah. As Sabrina was pointing out, even though when you do this thing, look for spots throughout your painting that you can find these colors, so you don't have an area too full. It's really what the Impressionists did. You're just trying to find that opposite color and finding it in these things. Sometimes to make something more stand out even more than it is, you put in the opposite color next to it, or its complementary color. So this being orange, you put in a blue in there, or a greenish blue, and it will just jump. Everything. Yeah, I just gotta put it in without messing it up. This is the tough part. This is why it takes so long, because it messes up, you fix it. It messes up, you fix it. So you guys have finished some paintings, and you know what this part's about. And that's why I start to use my knife like this at the end, just because I don't want to bring in that chance of tightening it all up. And I'm not bringing in any really new colors. I'm using the same colors we had before. I'm not bringing in anything. And I do got to watch a few of these things, because I will end up, tightening up too many things. If I was using a little brush, all these lines here would be, perfect and everything. And then everything back there would not work with. There wouldn't be any, continuity. I'd be losing that. So it's just feels like it's, two different brushes, two different people painted it, instead of being done by the same hand. What color am I looking for? Oh, I was going to put that little band going across her top of her hat. That will help give it a little more shape to that. Basically a knife. I have it drawn in really well. I just got to come back and just put it in with a knife here and there. Kind of a warm brown, basically phthalo green and oxide, and just a little bit of oil, just a little touch of oil in that paint, so it just runs a little bit. Doesn't really run, but it goes. I can get it to come off the knife. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong. I didn't add any oil to some of these things on my knife to really get that last little dot. She has a little feather and stuff on her hat here too. I just don't. It's one of those things I just like. That makes it kind of personal, and so I just wasn't gonna really do it. So I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna give her hair, just see if I can get that little spot of hair here a little bit brighter. Just gives me the shape of that hat. And I can, I always find just a touch of cat red right around the edge of these things. Maybe put just a touch of oil in there. It worked everywhere else. That's way too much. So it runs. Oh, it goes on perfect now. I don't. Just give it a little bit of shape. Just that. Then to bring out the top of the hat, just a little more yellow white. Again, same thing. It's just going to be a scratch. All I need to do is just bring out this one spot here. Well, that was close. I just didn't need, I need to, basically, I got to take that blue green up just to the edge. I got too much of a, there we go. There's not enough contrast right next to it. I just left the darkness just a hair short, or always those little things. Now I'll try and put it in one line, one scratch. Touch of oil again. I can do it. Maybe I should just do. I'm gonna do it with this. Nope, it's not running. There you go. That's what I wanted. Really lost her hat on the other side. That's why you have the dark color come back with. Why you have your darks back in here again. All right. When I have that, I'll just come back in and break up these patterns here a little bit. The little things you always find when you start to finishing it up like this. You know, definitely you're going to lose your contrast a little bit more here and there. Always bringing it back in. This is a phthalo green and alizarin. Again, almost full strength. You got to tie these grasses down in here together so it doesn't feel like they go with their pants. So, and gotta just break this too perfect. This is really when a sharp brush like this comes in handy when you just got these little teeny uh, spots like this, just to break these grasses up. Basically, all I touch a little bit of caught a little bit of light here over here. So being able to come back and just break these things, get a few things that go totally against the grain. So I don't have these guys running too perfect. I mean, ups and down. Got to have a few ups and downs. Okay. Same thing on the horse here a little bit, bringing this grasses up a little bit. At least around it. Gonna start bringing in some of that brown we made up at the very beginning, some of that red brown. This is oh god, this is that orange brown. Gonna bring it in back in here. And I am definitely, putting it in with the brush right now. And my brush is working out pretty well. I mean, this is pretty good for this. This will help me tighten up around the dog a little bit. And then when it gets dark enough, I can come back in here or lightens up a little bit with a few strokes. I can come back and just add a few of these wisps in here to break those guys up.
On the right of the right dog, dog on the right, the highlight on the back, is it the white with alizarin or something else?
Uh, this one, yeah, that was the Phalo Cad Red light and white right here,
Yeah.
coming down to there. And then yeah, I was gonna do yellow and white and orange. Sorry, I got kind of that's what happens. I just one color leads to something else. Go with a little bit more yellow on the top of the head.
What type of dog is it?
I kind of almost like a wiener dog, I think.
Like
You know,
brown dog?
it's a hound.
Oh, so the hair on the hound is gray?
Uh, it can be gray, it can be a few different colors. That's the thing about these guys. We can get away with
So
whatever I can get to work.
gotcha.
So that's about it. I mean, he doesn't get too much more loving, or he's going to be. He's already
Okay.
doing. He's already begging for attention, right?
Got it.
From her, even so. We don't have to give him any more.
The horse and the girl looks amazing. They look amazing.
Oh, thanks. That's why you've been around for so long.
You're keeping me.
Yeah, good things, good things. Yeah, I'm still always little teeny dots. Okay. And then the grasses in the back here just need to be pulled up. I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna put them in my knife, but this is, like I said, is a pretty new brush. It's really sharp still, so it gives me a little bit thicker because I have a lot of thins in here. So I'm just going, maybe I'll just see if I can just slice a few of these guys in a little bit more. Just lighten it up a little bit, darken it up here and there. But then I start to get controlling. I can start to control it a little bit, and then I go, oh, I don't like it because I controlled it too much. So I'm just going to be using it a little bit, and I'll still have to come back with my knife. And then we've got these last grasses here just to bring in a little bit of finagling to. Yeah. And I just want to there's a group of grasses right here. I started putting them in, but I said, wow, these are going to be really important in this painting. I don't know what. Thinking, yeah, these are going to be really important, but I don't think really quite that important. But I'm just going to mix a few of my colors, my yellows and greens and oranges a little bit, mix up of colors here. I want to get the stalks here to the right value. It'll be a little darker. So just a little orange mixed with the brownish green I mixed. And then when I put them in with a knife, knowing that they're going to go in a value or two lighter because I'm putting in a light color, they go in darker if I put in a dark color. Just get a few of these scratches. And don't overwork it. Like I said, get a few in back in here, the tough spots. Then over here. I got color. I want to use it back in across some of these little dark patches. That'll be about And again, like I said, coming up the pulling this guy in a little bit with a couple of those. Whoops. And a few darks down there too. Couple of them just catching just a little taller. Okay. It just needs a little few warms of this color closer down in here. Important things, don't hurt. Get your thing signed and don't ruin your signature. Get these browns. Oh boy, that'd be nice. Get some oranges in here at the bottom. Cad orange again with oxide red, light oxide red and yellow into these patches just because they're kind of dead. Just a few little spots. Looks like you you really looked at them. You know, I have looked at them, but in knowing that they're only going to take a few spots of oranges coming through here. And then basically, I just want them to be accents. I don't want them to be, come in here and take over. I just want them to just be little spots of orange here and there. Speaking of orange, okay, I said between her fingers. Oh, God, I did everything but that. I didn't do her finger and I didn't do that orange. I'm sorry. So that orange, just a touch of oil on my tip of my knife. It's going to be pale. Right, it's going to be pale. I'm going to keep it kind of rich in the yellowish. See if I can get that in between here. Yeah. Yes, again. You can, I just don't like the big little teeny hair brushes and stuff. They just don't work for me. Okay. I say that and I go, well, I got to use one. It might have to be cad red. Anywhere else? Oh yeah, yeah. Guess I could do the horse too. I didn't do the horse. Horse's legs, just on that. Well, it's more on this one leg. All right. Need something right here. I need at least a from branch or something strong here. This branch should be a little stronger. Just just to pull everything together. 'Cause I got a little bit. These guys are kind of running the same line as the neck, so we're gonna want to kind of bring it down in space. There we go. All right. Oh, last dog over there. What time we got here? Jeez, tell you, details take forever. And we still got half hour. He's gonna be all his highlights can't be. I don't want him as bright as these guys, so oh, see how that is. That's an orange. Maybe I'll do them. Let me see if I do more blue and pinks, purple pinks mostly, and then we'll do the grasses. Just light oranges, not as bright as this guy. Like I say that, and ah, that's enough. Can't go too much more. Like I say, putting it in with a knife, they go in a little lighter and brighter and stronger. So, all right. Little dots here and there. That's what we're going to be looking at. Finishing up. How are you guys doing? All right, I'm gonna put in some more little lights and then put in the ones down in here. Definitely the one lighter, fluffy grasses in here. Got a little more, they're a little bit more on the blue shade than um than the warm, and because they're in the shadow, so definitely remember that. Where's that little teeny bristle? You see what that does? Clean it off, the orange out of it. Going to be in the phthalo green and alizarin with white. Probably I like on the green side too. It's white. Okay, just a little bit lighter than that. And that was at probably about a 7, so I'm going to take it to a 5. Yeah. They are mixing too, so I still have some things here to play with. Things just to pull the whole painting together. You know, this color back in here could definitely go back in here too. You know, signed it over there, so I can do some few things over here. Otherwise, I always look for lines. Also, if you got a line coming down from here, making sure that some brush strokes like this, don't create a run where they becomes a longer line. You like to have some stops in between, so you just definitely got to break them here and there so these lines don't become lines that connect. Make them go a little more diagonal if you have to. I say that, and I still, you still get them, but usually I don't see them till I photographed it, and it's ready to be seen or something. Like, oh shit. Anyway, oh yeah, there's greens back in there. I never did fully get back in here. Good little bristle brush for this. Can still get in here and bring out a few spots and still feel natural. Especially when I make a big mistake like I did there at the very beginning. Put in this paint that just got gobbed up. So, good time to fix it before I do anything else. Okay. And just see if I can feed it over here to the horse a little bit. So this is that yellow green I made. I just put in just a little purple into it, just to gray it. Take the curse off it a little bit, so it's just in too strong. I'm just gonna at this bottom area here, just pull these guys together a little bit, squish them, scratch them, boil them in a pan. Sorry, that was. Let's go see what the up looks like on that one. I just need to get right up in here. I need to get a spot. Lighter green up there. Just to arc it. Get this to arc. Get that out of there. A few spots. I usually use dashes like dots and dashes just like to move the things sometimes when I get to this point. I'm starting to get things dash, dot, dash. Gonna go back in here and just get some of the topper grasses. I tried putting them in with a knife. And I just sometimes the knife doesn't behave, so but less is more, so don't keep going. You will um at some point overdo it. Which is right around now. Just around the mouth here is just a few orange hairs coming out. Oh, few little areas. Always something, I tell you. That's why I love doing these little rim, scratching them in with my knife. All right, last little thing. All right, a few more grasses, not too many more, but a few more. Definitely, I'm going to use going to use my knife to put them in first. Put the some gobs of paint in for some of these areas. I'm just going to use the top part top part of my knife here to grab some paints. Some of these are the white yellows we made up. Kind of came from the grasses, they might be too bright. But we got a few spots here. We just need to, gang up here. So I'm going to put in a few of these guys. And keep them close to, some of them close together, but a little space in between, so they're not. I say that space, and then different directions, space. I don't want to go just a little bit to the side, but or to the edge of the painting. Not too many. Not too many. I want to keep it in this area where I just scratched. And then I'm just going to come and just hit them with a bristle brush. Hit these spots with a bristle brush. And let the bristle brush do some damage. Want to bring a little bit of light into the dog too, so you know, looking at everything here behind this dog, making sure some of the light's coming right into him. I'm going to keep my yellow whites, my brightest brights over here towards these guys. And I want to keep them up here, close to here. You can put some pinks in there too, white pinks. Those will help break up some of that mass of yellow, especially when you go farther back. You know, really fills it in, really adds a lot of weight to the painting. And see, I'm just almost scratching with the tip. Just I do it, and then finally paint comes off. You know, just barely any paint on that triangle there. And this is alizarin in white, a lot of white. It's about the same value as my yellow. And so I've been just mixing the two together. Probably could have just did CAD, would have been fine. Then a couple dots, especially when you got areas like this. You know, it's just dead. They're just dead. So if you put a dot in there, just with your thing here, just put a dot in there, all of a sudden that area has life, you know. You know, it just starts to bring the line around. That's always what I'm looking for at the end. Just little lights. Okay. I said I just hit those things with a brush and I'll be done. But thanks, guys. I mean, this is really what I do at the end of a painting. And just those little things to reinforce the design, and, you know, fix little areas that you think might need little things like this area right now. That's dead. That's dead. Gone it. It needs a few darks.
Jim, show us your palette, like used up paint and everything, like how it looks now
Sure.
afterwards, or take a picture or something so that um it's pretty evident that you're not using any white, but the value scale jump is pretty
Pretty
clear.
up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using these are all my high key colors at the end. And it just goes to show you that how cool things can be, really kind of they live in the darks a lot. So one line here against the grain, that's better. I just need a couple dots. Maybe some oranges. I got a bunch of greens here, right? Groups of three, couple dashes, and all of a sudden it's not quite as dead. There we go. Just to draw the eye around, just those little scratches. I kind of lost them here, so then I did erase a few of them, but I always find that if I put them in with paint again at the end, paint means more. So I have this double thing. I got this where I use the brush. I use my erasing tool to make little lights, but then I'll come back and then put some in with paint. All of a sudden it gets this thickness and stuff to it. It's pretty good. I like that. Gosh, one thing here. And I'm done. I'm coming back, coming around. See what you guys did. Like I said, hit it with a bristle brush. Clean one, of course. Definitely they want to hit it with a dirty bristle brush. That would be dumb. I'd do that. Yeah, just push it. Just sometimes you can just take the edges off these things. All right. So that's it. Maybe a couple. I know what I need. I need just a couple long ones. I just need a couple long ones in here. All right. And then you can just mush them down a little bit. Mush. See, they start to get an even pattern too much, and that's bad. I kind of need to quit. It gets spaced out too perfectly from working here, so All right, good enough. Yeah, she didn't get too much more work. But you know, we did build some color down in here a little bit more. I can try to bring it in a little tighter. And then her didn't do much around her really. Darks and stuff, just that light around the outside. That was just a scratching of light. I probably could go one a little bit lighter like I did up here. I didn't really brighten it up enough. Anyway, the horse didn't do hardly anything too. I just darkened in this little area here, darkening in his front leg here a little bit. We worked on this dog here a little bit, basically just highlights, shorten his nose a little thing. Back in there, we added a little bit of a green, pulled it out a little bit. Not exactly sure about that shape yet up there.
That shape is perfect. Because nature is random, so shape is good.
Okay. All right, then we're done.
It
And then
is.
the dog here is fine. So it's a fun little painting. But those little touches, like you said, you can see they can take hours just to do, because that's where you gotta slow down. You know, we go as fast as we can. We get these colors used up. Oh, speaking of, here you go. Oh, let's see. Okay. I think it's still on. Let me see if this will go to it. Yeah, here's my palette. You can see I really was using these guys back and down in here. Didn't use too much. I did use this one here. This is the phthalo green. Phthalo. No, it's not phthalo. Shoot. It's blue and light oxide. These two here really worked on the horse at the end. I mean, to really get the darks in, it was really these guys full, but they were going into some lighter paint. So, but they did darken up and fit right. And then on the dog itself, it looks okay. But these lights here, this is the Cad red and white I was using, and I also was using just some pure Cad red too here and there, just little spots of brightness, of richness in that mane and stuff, just to get it pop. So it's really close to where I am. All right. Hope that helped. Okay, let's see what you guys did. Let's see who finished.
I didn't paint.
You didn't paint. Are you going to paint? You did paint this one, did you, or did you not?
I will. I'm looking at the canvas. I will.
You should paint this thing nice, because
I will.
man, you did such a killer job on those cows. That first one, I just like, wow, you took it in a great place. I really like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Shar, did you paint it all? Did Carrie watched? And Kim had to paint. She was painting. Kim painted. Carrie let's see. Let's go with Kim, because I know she painted. And I know she's hungry. She's got to get dinner. You got to get everything cleaned up and make that dinner, right?
That's right.
You
All
go
right.
out to eat all the time there, right?
Sorry?
You just go out to eat all the time, right?
No.
No?
No. Okay, here we go.
Oh, shit. What the hell did you do?
Mhm.
You ruined it. You took a perfectly good painting and made it so much better. Damn, girl. Oh, man, that is gorgeous. I love the take on it. I mean, it feels kind of monotone. And it's gorgeous. Oh, that dog, your dog is fabulous. The dark dog. And the other one, it's kind of cool because your dark dog just steals the thunder from your other dog really nicely. You know, it makes the horse and that dog have a nice interaction. The greens back there are so subdued, beautifully done, man. The horse is fabulous. You really could paint horses, man. You should just really hit those because you're doing such a great job on that. Even the girl's figure. You know, the nice thing is that she's not girly at all, but she has a lot of, you know, sway to her. She's not stiff, which is really one of the toughest things to do about when you paint people like this in these genre paintings, that they don't get stiff. And she feels like she has bones and everything underneath her, and yet she doesn't.
That's all this life drawing that I'm doing, Jim.
I know it looks fabulous. God damn, that thing's. Oh, that is a great painting.
Jim,
That is
perfect.
by far your best one I've seen.
Really?
Oh, that's just gorgeous.
Oh my God, I'm going to be jumping around excited tonight. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I mean that one. It's going to sell at the resale shop.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be.
Don't. I would keep this one. This is gorgeous.
All right, I'll keep it. I
Find
should
it.
maybe sign it too, huh?
Sign it. This is cool. This is very cool. You know, I'd say the only thing you might look at is the hat. I think it could go just a little bit darker on the highlights are fine. I think it could just go a little bit darker on the values on the insides of the hat that will give the folds of the hat pop out.
Okay.
I wouldn't make them anything brighter, but just a little bit on that side of the top of the hat, or not, just a little bit darker.
Okay.
Hair darker. God, I love the colors. Just look gorgeous.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you.
Nicely overworked.
Yes, exactly.
You should be. If you're not happy with that, you got to go find another teacher. Okay. I can't help you anymore. All right.
Oh, Jim, you're perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right. Shar. I know Shar had to have painted. Come on, Shar.
Yep.
Char's a good girl. Oh,
Beautiful.
look at that rich.
There we
See,
go.
you two are just the opposite. She stayed very monotone, the colors, and you can see that reds and greens just pop there.
I'm trying.
Oh,
That's
there
a
you go. No
yeah.
gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Oh, you know, and she took out. You killed the dog.
Yeah. He saw a rabbit and took off.
Okay. No. That's great. That's this has so it works on so many levels and stuff. Okay. Nicely done. I think it could be a little bit looser on the top of the mane,
Oh,
the
okay.
hairs and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a knife, if nothing
Okay.
else. If that paint can be moved,
It was pretty dry.
okay. Well, you might have to just slightly mix it.
Yeah.
Okay, and just soften around the legs of the horse. You know, on the
Okay.
where the grasses are. I think it could be the monitor too.
Yeah.
The grasses are coming up. I think you could use one or two type of grasses that come out of nowhere and they're taller than all the rest. You know, and just
Okay.
that just kind of little stuff to keep the looseness going because you're starting to tighten it up. So keep those little grasses in your back pocket to loosen it up.
Okay.
You did it on the sides. That front grass is
Mhm.
fabulous. I love the squishes of it and where it's going. That's really cool. You know, that's just a little softening, like right underneath the horse, his belly and up to his thing. That's a sharp edge. That's if that was just a softer color, softer blend, because you got these things going straight up and they go up and they stop and they just tell you to look there. So if you're just a little softer there, you'll drag around the top of the painting more. So that's what we just need to do is drag around that top. A little more purples back in the behind her head. But that's just, oh man, that's gorgeous. Good composition too.
Right. Thanks.
Your beauty. Drawing's fabulous. That's the whole thing. That thing holds together in so many levels. just those, if I was just going to tweak it, those would be the little areas I would just end up tweaking.
Okay.
Okay. Lisa Garrett, did you paint?
I did.
Yay!
Looks so dark. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can turn some lights off or on, or I don't know which is the best.
So there's some light.
There's some light. Let's see if we can get some light over here. I'm using my
As soon as you get that
computer,
light, you can start to see that. Yeah.
so I wasn't able to keep up with you. I had to do some adjusting on my dog, my big dog there, and the little dog a couple of times.
Yeah.
The big dog almost got scrapped out because, like you say, he looked more like a cat than he did a dog.
It's you're just getting I know they get really, that one looks a little weird.
Yeah.
It's either a really skinny mutt, and then you got to, I don't know. Yeah, it's a hound. Has to be a kind of hound,
Yeah. He's a beagle cross. I don't know.
Beagle,
what
yeah.
cross with.
That's what I was thinking. He just got a really long body when they stretch out. You just don't realize it, I think.
Yeah.
Your colors back there are so good when you get, you keep building on those back colors and bringing, that undertone you got there, that blue green.
Yeah.
That's against that orange of the horse and the thing. Yeah, those things work so well together. Just you got to tone it down and build on it and stuff like that. But that should go together. It's going to go together so well.
I most definitely probably have at least another 20 hours left on it.
I tell you, it's worth it on this one. This is a good one. This was a sellable painting.
Oh yeah, I love this one. I'm going to do more like this. I actually have a smaller one already started. The same picture.
You guys are getting
and so I encourage you to pick subjects like this more. I love this.
More Western.
I'm not a boat person, but I am going to try the boats. Okay.
Okay.
And
damn, there goes next week.
I'm sorry. And Kim, yours is fabulous. I love yours.
Oh,
How much are you going to pay me? No, I'm teasing.
Oh, let's see.
that's a gorgeous one.
Jim knows I give them away to the charity shop.
She's just wasting away there in London. Okay, what'd you do, Carrie?
Hey,
Hey.
well, I switched back to my phone, so
Uh-huh.
I think you can hear me and you can see. I've got
We
a
can.
flip. I dropped my phone, so it cracked, of course, right there on the.
What doesn't? Well, that
All
could
right,
be.
well,
Quit dropping phones.
trying to flip it around. Well, it's going to be blurry. Anyway,
What
I don't
the-
know if you can see anything.
Yeah, it's okay.
I need to try to flip it. I'm sorry. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, there's a little spot there on. You can find it.
Here
It's
we
on the
go.
screen. It's on the screen.
Here we
There you
go.
go. There you go. I knew. I saw. I
Yeah.
did see that, Carrie. I did see that, and I knew it was going to look really good, so I was giving you shit ahead of time. Okay. No
little
more
busy.
sharp. No money. No more sharp things behind the horse and the person. No more of that. That stuff. Everything. All that lime green behind the head and stuff. Back on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just
Mhm.
soften that down with a finger or something. You can let all the sharp things go from their waist down.
Okay.
That can be sharp. Anything behind there has to be dulled down. So
Okay.
you have most of it done. That was just that new stuff you put in the bright greens.
Yeah.
Back here, there's a couple sharp spots that are drawing my attention. And they're not pulling me towards the horse; they're drawing me back behind it. So that's what I would
Okay.
just soften those and and watch the brightness of the light greens or blue greens above it. Those are just a hair too bright. So push
Okay.
those guys back down. If you see if you can push them down, and stuff. Oh man, good job on the horse though. The horse looks great. Really good stuff there. Some richness, really rich. And that's one of the things I was seeing in yours when you're doing it. So it's just going over the tone you had laid down. I just could see this rich, how rich this is going to end up being. Beautiful stuff.
I've got one more. Do you
Okay,
want to look at one more
Yeah,
real quick?
you
All right.
too. You
All
too.
right, I did. I
Oh.
did too. I know. Now this one I added the blue
That is
and the
okay. That looks
Venetian.
better. That looks the greens in the background. They work. You see how they kind of point back into the horse
Yeah.
and stuff. Yes, that works really
I think
great.
this one might be better. Yeah, I used the Venetian and blue and also blue and alizarin.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. Really, some nice stuff.
So less in the back. So you
Yeah,
think the back is done?
I would say, yeah. I don't want to see it. I want to imagine it. It feels right without telling me what's back there. So
Okay.
it goes with everything else. It tightens, makes everything else. Even you got a loose painting, it tightens it up.
Okay.
I wouldn't put any more cools back there too. Just keep everything in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because when you put the same coolness back there, you kind of flatten out the painting because you got the front and you got it in the back, and all of a sudden they become in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because so watch, don't you're good right now.
Okay, right now.
Right now, I know
Okay.
you like to get carried away. You like getting
Right.
carried away.
I know.
I'm
I
just trying to
do.
hold you back a little bit. Hold this horse back.
Okay.
Just concentrate on the people in the front areas. Forget about the back, because that back is just my imagination goes to this place, and it makes it all real. Where if you noodle it out for me, you give me too
Mhm.
much. All of a sudden, then I'm questioning anything up front. So I think
Okay.
that's gorgeous. I don't know what else you want to do.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're just gonna run to the gallery and drop it off. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I think I'm just about to overwork that one.
I
What
would say
about that
you
hat?
need
What about the hat? Am I getting the colors right or the temperature?
uh
Values?
yeah. It could, I think it could go a little more purple green. Purple orange. In that orange, or you got there just a little purplish into it.
Like in the front?
Well, on the back edge, that
back.
orange is coming forward.
Gotcha. Uh-huh.
So if you put a little purple in it, like you did on the other side of the top of the hat, I'm just talking about the back rim of the hat.
Right.
That shape. If you just, don't let that orange come too far ahead. There is that light shining through, coming through, but that's different than the orange. You need that just to tone down a little bit more.
Okay.
And
Thank you
then,
so much.
wow, that's fabulous.
I've
Good
really
job.
enjoyed this, and everybody's is so wonderful. So
Yeah, you guys did.
inspire me.
No, I
Thank
tell
you.
you guys, I'm pretty happy. I'm very happy. I'm covering up mine now. You guys did fabulous. Every one of you guys really worked it. Thanks for working for 2 weeks on it.
That was a good format. I enjoyed it like that.
Yeah, if it turns out to go that way, that's fine too.
Yeah.
I just sometimes this is like a tough painting because there's foreground, background, 3 animals and a person. If she had a face, that would be a nightmare. Then that'd be way too much. Since she's, you just got the hat, that helps out because people's faces can take forever. We could do, we could do more people though. I do have a couple more. I do have some Indian ones. paintings. I do have a couple galleries out west, so I got to be able to do. I got to have Indian cowboy paintings to do, and horses and dogs. So I got to have whatever's selling. I got to be able to be able to do it. So I do have a few more of those too. So maybe we'll try some more. Otherwise, next week I was going to go back. We were talking nocturnal stuff, maybe a night painting. So I'm going to turn off my lights and we'll paint in the dark or something like that. We will do a night painting. I got a couple things of some guys who paint at night that just kick it out of the park. I mean, they just glow. And so we will take a look at that and see if we can get a couple nice paintings out of that. So, all right.
Sometime I was wondering if we could do like maybe a reflection of rain on wet pavement.
Maybe
No.
that's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, good idea. If it's at night, it just glistens, and then
Or snow, street lights in the snow at night. That'd be cool.
you were looking at my stash, weren't you?
Hey, great minds think alike, I
I
guess.
tell you, we're looking at the same stuff. And that's another thing out there too. Look, especially on Facebook, befriend some of these artists out there that you really like, because you get to see their stuff right firsthand, and it just really gets you inspired and gives you ideas about what you can paint. So that's another good thing. So that's it for today. We will. I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to be doing much more to this thing. But thanks for joining, and great painting, guys. Really impressed. So we'll see you all next week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye, Jim.